Hello and welcome back to another episode of True Crime Metrix. Here we are with a rewatch, guys. Our first rewatch. We've already covered the Wendi Adelson interview, 6-part series on our channel page, but that was before we had basically any audience. Now that we're famous and known and flying the flag of justice for the entire Markel gang, we thought it might be interesting stuff. Exciting news for you all today. Yes, we had an honorable mention from Fancy Fiction on her live stream today. I think I was out and about and I got a notification on my cell phone to say that Fancy Fiction had gone live. I immediately tuned in as I was running back to my vehicle to rush home and plug into the live stream. But it turned out to be just a casual short stream of some surfers or windsurfers. I left a comment and we were mentioned by the Queen Bee herself, Fancy Fiction. So if you're watching tonight, Fancy, welcome. It's been too long. This is a much anticipated meeting of minds. Yeah. And I don't know if you've caught any of our previous shows, but we do mention you frequently, as everybody does in the comments. So we can't hide from your splendor, your greatness. Love what you do. And please understand that our little show over here isn't really trying to do anything. We don't see videos with within our community and say what we see or see what we say. And well, both of those things. We say what we see and we see what we say. Anyway, yeah, I'm a little bit out of balance today, folks, as you can tell from my stumbled intro here. Yeah, just one of those days where you keep knocking things over. Electrical things don't work. I even had some problems with the lock in the front door. I mean, what is going on? I think that damn Mercury must be in retrograde again. Stay indoors. Anyway, Irene Butler, welcome. Great to see you again, Irene. Ah, the man himself, all the way from Juneau, Alaska. It's 544 Count Street, otherwise known as Leo. Leo, the friendly lion. What is up? I think it's commonly phrased, what's up? And the homies, welcome, welcome, welcome all. Riding shotgun, yes you are. Well, there's two in front of you today riding, but you can all fit in the front seat if you like. For me, those are days I get up. Yeah, well, I see what you're saying. You mean all days. The only good days are the days you don't get up. Yeah, I know how that feels. But frankly, it's too damn hot here to stay in bed. Yes, the summer is upon us. Anyway, enough of the meteorology reports, and we will be kicking straight off. Now, please do let us know if anything's wrong with the connection tonight, guys. The audio, the streaming, what do you call it? Frame rate, because we're in a new location today. We're on location in a new location. So we're unfamiliar with how the internet quality is, but it might just be me. Anyway, without further ado, roll tape, please. Really must wait until I have that keyed up. Roll tape, please. Uh-oh. Is that a bandwidth issue? Let's see how it goes. What's the volume? Is there volume? I think she's waiting. She's waiting. I was just actually watching or listening to one of Fancy Fiction's live streams from a little while ago, where she was doing an impression of Wendi Adelson's fake crying in this interrogation, and I thought it was fantastic. In fact, I might make it my morning alarm if I can work out how to do that. Fancy Fiction going. What better way to wake up in the morning? Am I right? Am I right? There's the man with the wrench. Moderator himself. Welcome, moderator.
I just listened to my voicemail. What'd you hear?
Yes, you just listened to her voicemail, folks. Now, one of the reasons I want to revisit this interview, and it is a 5-hour, 6-hour interview, so it's quite a lot of a time investment, is that I want to be taking notes. I want to be taking notes for another video where we are going to collect and review all of the pre-prepared tools that Wendi has developed in order to assist in her intended portrayal of not guilty, someone else. My job is to take care of those boys. I won't review anything, and my lawyer told me not to ask questions to my family. You know, we're going to be collecting all of that information, and then we're going to be probably doing our first ever not live video. What do you call it? Produced video. Miss Ann Thorpe, we see you. We see you.
Here.
And Amy Bowen, of course.
Who was your voicemail? It's from my security.
Sorry, just to finish what I was saying there, guys. I did like I was saying. Items that Wendi has had to keep in her head and be able to just reel them off like cards in a hand of poker, you know, just tactically, right? We're going to place this card. We're going to place this card. We're going to hold back. We're going to stick. We're going to hit me, you know, whatever the thing is. It's a card game to her, but the sheer audacity to even attempt to pull that off. And people say, well, she did a terrible job. She was a terrible actor. And I agree. But that's not really the point. Having to hold all of that stuff in your head is a feat in and of itself. And I'm not giving her any kudos for that. It's just speaking to how much of a how much of a crazy woman she is, that she actually thinks, yeah, I could do that. Have a go at what she does. It's tough.
Carrie, who is with to find a house. She just said she was driving around town and she heard there was a shooting on Trescott.
Yeah, that's what this is about. I'm sorry you had to hear it that way.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if I should.
It's all right, just leave it there. Is it still on?
It's right there.
Do you want to just hit play again for me?
Sure.
I know, Amy. Yeah, and the things that she has prepared, like Jane coming in and saying, like, Cass, you know, there's a whole bag ready to go. But then it's coupled with these random events, like the real estate agent calling and saying, I heard there was a shooting on Trescott, right as the interview's about to begin. I mean, that really helps her case, I think.
Hey, it's Lisa Carey. It is Friday, and I feel like an idiot doing this, but I just heard that
Hey, Leah and Leo, you are practically neighbors. We got British Columbia and Juneau, Alaska. You can actually wave to each other. Maybe you should have those tin can phones with a wire between them over the Puget Sound or whatever is there.
Shooting over on Trescott, and I promise I'm not trying to be dramatic or even nosy. Well,
Why did it run a chill down her spine? You know, I'm sorry if people have seen our original coverage of this, and this one is going to be a little repetitive, but I have no control over that. You know, we're saying what we noticed, and if we've noticed it already, I can't remember what was said before, and hopefully you can't either. But, you know, this real estate agent heard something was going on Trescott. Minimal details. Long, long, long road, multiple miles long, hundreds of houses. Something was going on Trescott, and she had a chill go down her spine. Why was that? You know? She picked up.
Or does it stop automatically?
It's done.
Okay. Do you have your identification with you?
What was her identification? Was it her, hello, I'm a lawyer, this is my bar card? Something.
So you never took the last name of Markel?
No.
Yeah, why would I do that? Wendi Markel? That done.
No. S-O-N.
Hi, Chris.
Wendi with an I. Joe. All right. There was a shooting at your home, or your ex-husband's home at 2116 Trescott. Okay. Your ex-husband, Daniel, all right, has been taken to the hospital.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You see, I know people are going to say, "Oh, we're watching it back," and you know, you can't judge it on what we know now. But if I was Isom in that, cuffs out right then, that was the most pathetic reaction ever. That was worse than Dalia Dipolito. You know, oh my God, I was talking this morning. When did this happen?
I'm sorry, what?
What would you say? Her kids are with him, under his care. Let's go back again.
Has been taken to the hospital. He's not going to survive.
Oh my God.
Okay.
First reaction, where are the boys? Mother here, you know. Okay, where are the boys? That is the first reaction. That should have been her first reaction. All the prep, and she still can't think as a person with any empathy or, you know, care about her boys, her sons.
I'm sorry, what? I remember her this morning. What happened?
Well, before we get into everything. I have to establish where you were and who you were with and so forth. Okay, and then once we've established all that, I can give you more details. Do you understand why I wanted you to come here before I discuss this?
She's now had minutes to ask where her sons are. You know, all she's done is say she wrote a message to him this morning. I think that's what she said. We can't hear through the fake tears. And what was the other thing? Where did this happen?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, you have nothing to be sorry about.
I just don't understand. How could this happen?
Can you let me get over this hump, okay? Can we do that first? All right. Can you tell me what time you left your house this morning?
Okay, apologies, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. How annoying. Try again. Try one more time, then I'll go and have to grab the phone. Hello?
And so I just turned around and drove up the other way. I just thought, oh, sometimes there's when I lived in there. There were electrical things
Okay.
that would happen. I left my house. TV was broken and it's under warranty.
Good for you.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, a guy from Best Buy was at your house to work on your TV?
I have his name and everything at the house if you want it, because the boys broke the TV. So he gave me a choice of fixing it or getting a new one.
What time did he come to the house?
He called me at around 8. He was probably there until around 10.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you
and then after he left, I kept working on a paper, and I emailed the paper to a librarian at school to work on some of the citations.
Okay.
And
Okay, I think we're better now, right? The cell phone is close by. It's up high. It's looking alive.
I don't think I talked to anyone else, but I was just working for an hour or so from the house. I was going to take a shower, but I didn't. I ran out of time. I did laundry. And then I left the house around noon.
To go to the liquor store and the stuff for the party?
Yeah.
Okay, you went down which road you said?
I went down Trescott.
Okay.
I saw a police car there, and I just thought it was blocked, so I just turned around and drove to, I went down the rest of Centerville, went up Benton, took Benton across, went to ABC Liquors, bought the bourbon.
I'm a little confused. You're up on Centerville Road. What's your purpose of driving down Trescott?
It's usually the shortcut to get to Monroe.
To get to Monroe?
I usually take it as a cut through to get to Thomasville or Monroe.
Okay. All right. So
I don't know why I said Monroe.
So, this is a point that has massive speculation on, and even some people use it to argue her innocence, like Daniel Rashbaum. Why would she drive down Trescott if she knew a murder was going to happen? Well, I hate to reintroduce the theory of Occam's razor, but it's basically this simple. She was feeling very, what is the word? Full of anticipation about, did it happen? Did it happen? Did it happen? Is he dead? Has he been shot? And needed to check. And she thought, well, if he has been shot and the road's blocked, what'll I do then? Well, I'll easily excuse it away by saying I usually cut down to go to Monroe. It's not Monroe, Mosaic or whatever. She just thought, well, I need to check and I'll explain it away. People are saying, oh, she wanted to be the one to find the body. I don't think so. What good would that do? Then she'd be under a completely different microscope at the scene. I really don't think so.
I was thinking Mosaic Monroe.
She just wanted to see if there were signs that it had been done. Because she was, can you imagine the adrenaline?
Thomasville.
Okay, so when you come down into town on Centerville,
I almost always cut through Trescott.
And just drive by your old house?
Well, I do it as a way of coming to terms with the divorce. But yeah, sometimes I drive there. If I'm too sad, I drive around.
Okay.
If the kids aren't.
What is this coming to terms with the divorce? You made the divorce. You insisted and then were ruthlessly just tearing the man's world up. You know, systematically ripping his life apart, taking all his stuff, moving the boys away, demanding money. You were coming to terms with the divorce? I mean, is that one of those lies like Chandler Halderson? His lies were like just to get through the next week. Oh, I got another email from the boss. He says the money is coming in. You know, next week comes. Oh, yeah, there's no money coming in. Better think of a new lie. I tell you what, in between my scuba diving career, Elon Musk wants me to come down to Florida and help him with his solar panels. You know, Wendy's like, okay, well, this lie will at least get me out of the police station, or help me get out of the police station outside without cuffs on me. And then it's speak to Mr. Lawyer. You know, that she knows that's all she needs to do in this play. This whole portrayal only matters. This whole interview only matters to get her out of the room without cuffs, right? Then it's speak to Mr. Lawyer.
Home, and I know they're not home. I feel better about driving by the house, but yeah, it's shorter, and I just usually drive by.
It's shorter than going all the way down to Benton.
All the way down Centerville and around Benton. It's just
Right.
a shortcut I always took.
Okay, so you turned around and went back to Centerville, I take it?
Yeah.
Down to Benton and went to the liquor store down there on Thomasville?
Yeah.
The one at Benton Road?
ABC Liquors. It's at Benton. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Did you make a purchase there?
Yeah.
And that was sometime after 12?
Probably 12:30.
Okay. All right.
And I talked to a guy there because I don't really buy much alcohol, and so they wanted bourbon, and I asked the guy. We had a whole conversation about bourbon, and
Right.
my eyes like.
Yeah, I don't buy much alcohol. People buy it for me. I consume at least 2 bottles of wine a night, one while I'm preparing dinner and another with dinner. You know.
Your eyes?
He just said your eyes are really blue,
Right.
and
You have contacts?
I do.
Okay.
But I just remembered it.
Right.
So I bought the bourbon and got some gas on Thomasville and met my friends at.
This is another tell she has, guys, when she's going through a series of lies. Let me see if I can remember the other one off the top of my head. She's just like, what she just did there is, so I bought the bourbon, and then I went down Thomasville, and you know, she does this kind of bouncy step by step, you know, freeze frame. I bought the bourbon. And the other one she does is, I drove down. It was an electrical shortage. You know, this very slight intonation in her voice. You will notice it as a pattern, and once you've identified that pattern, if you spot it again, look closely at what it is she's saying. Let's see the pattern.
But I just remembered it.
Right.
So I bought the bourbon and got some gas on Thomasville and met my friends at Mosaic.
That's the thing. That's what she does. I bought the bourbon and got some gas on Thomasville and met my friends at Mosaic. You see, the purpose is that she's taking you through a series of events, and there's this very slight, but not so slight once you've noticed it, kind of stepping intonation going. Bought the bourbon, got some gas on Thomasville, met my friends at Mosaic. You know, there's this rhythm to it.
Which gas station did you go to on Thomasville?
The one that's I always forget the name, but the one that's close to the cross street. It's right next to the Goodwill.
Okay.
If you're heading north on Thomas.
Yeah, Goodwill. I'm always there doing my Goodwill as a model citizen.
Thomasville. If you're heading north on Thomasville, it's on your right.
Okay. Just past the Goodwill
Just
place?
past the Goodwill. It's close to the intersection there.
Okay. All right. And then from that point, you went straight to the
Went to Mosaic
Mosaic restaurant?
and met friends there. I used to have kind of a steady Friday meeting, and I hadn't seen my 2 friends in a while. And so we had made plans to meet up.
What time did you get to Mosaic?
About 1. I was a little late. We were supposed to meet
Oh,
at
you
1,
hadn't
and
seen them in a while, Wendy, and you were meeting them on this day. Okay, so that was something outside of your normal routine. That's another thing you watch for, guys. Any what is the word? Stepping outside the routine. There's a way to say that. I can't remember right now. We're live, whatever. Any veering away from her routine. Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while, but we did make an appointment for July 18th with 2 psychologists who could probably give a pretty valid testimony that I was acting completely normal, behaviorally.
I got there a few minutes after.
Okay. All right. I know it's cold in here. Okay.
I think that's not why.
Okay. I know it's part of it, but do you know anybody that would have a beef against your ex-husband?
Look at that thinking face. She's either thinking or trying to squeeze one out, What did you eat last night, Wendy?
He's oh God.
I hate to ask it now, but I have to do it now. You
I
understand, right?
understand. I understand. He had friends. He always meant well, but he would sometimes rub people the wrong way.
Okay.
But not anyone who would do something.
Yeah, he would always rub people the wrong way. Like in the cafeteria, he'd insist that everybody wash their hands before they eat, and put their trays back in the tray place when they're done, instead of leaving them on the table. He would rub them the wrong way.
Anybody that he owes money to?
No, he owes money to me.
He owes money to you?
But not,
Okay.
not me.
Okay. All right. All right.
Oh my God, we're kids.
Yeah, your kids, Wendy, that you haven't inquired about at all. Never mind they could have been caught in the crossfire. I mean, I guess the cop would have said that if that had happened, right? But she hasn't inquired once. She's just mentioned the kids, still hasn't asked where they are, hasn't had any confirmation from Dan that he dropped them off at Creative Play School. I mean, that was the plan, but what if he wasn't able to he wanted to take them swimming after school? Maybe he said, "Hey kids, let's have a day off and go to Sports Authority. We're getting brand new baseball mitts today, kids."
I know a lot of people didn't really love him, but I don't know anyone who would do something like this.
Well, we're still trying to determine, what happened and how it happened.
But he wouldn't do this to himself.
Okay.
He was a very positive person.
Okay.
Bunker Hogan asks, this was a while ago, I think, when we had technical difficulties. I'm just going through the comments now. Your thoughts on Wendy's complete lack of shock when police approached her at Mosaic and asked her to get into a police car? I would have called everyone I could think of. I'd demand to know. Damn right I'd demand to know. I'd be like, okay, officer, there's your badge, there's your car. Now, I'm not going anywhere until you tell me what's going on. What is going on?
No one that you know of or that you've spoken to recently that he's had some type of problem with or that he was concerned about?
No one that he was concerned about. I mean, we've been separated for 2 years, so I don't know,
Right.
If he had something going on, I wouldn't know about it. But I mean, I had lost my voice earlier this week, and so we had put off this conversation about our son's school and where he was going to go. And
I can't. I don't want to get too repetitive about this, guys. You know, I quite like Isom as a person, but I just I there was not enough of a show from Wendi to warrant this much putting her aside as a suspect. He's already lost all the scrutiny, really. I mean, is there any remaining? I think a little bit might come back later, much later. But at this point, she's a victim, and he's treating her as someone who could give information to help him find the killer. The ex-wife, she'll know his schedule, his timetable, maybe people he was involved with, you know. That's how he's treating her right now, and there hasn't been enough to exclude her. And the show that she's put on, to my eyes, is very suspicious. A lot of red flags already, and we're only maybe 10, 15 minutes in.
I can't. I know a lot of people didn't love him, but not anyone who would like hate him.
Okay.
He meant well. Everyone that knew him
Okay.
knows that he means well, but he's can be a little like argumentative,
Right.
but not he didn't owe anyone money. He didn't do anything except work and take care of his kids. He wasn't involved in anything bad.
Okay.
I can't believe this is happening.
I know. And he was a professor at the law school. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And your divorce has been 2 years, or the total separation, I'm assuming?
Total separation's been 2 years. Our divorce was finalized last summer around this time.
Okay.
He wouldn't do this to himself. He has a girlfriend now.
Do you know his girlfriend?
I met her once in the last couple of weeks. She was visiting. She lives in New York.
Okay. Do you know anything about her?
I know some things about her. She's also a law professor. I know she's recently divorced and she has a son. I don't know if her divorce is final, but I think recently divorced.
Where's she a law professor at?
At NYU.
Okay.
And they seemed very happy. And I mean, I think that was a really good thing in his life. He seemed really happy about it. She came down here, she met the boys, and I met her and she told me how great she loved the boys. You know, like it seemed fine.
She ever stay at the house with him?
Just that one time.
When was that?
I remember because I just got back from being with my family in South Florida. Sorry.
It's okay. You're doing great.
So what date was it? I went with my family. It was my dad's 70th birthday, and we went home for it.
554 Camp Street says that he is so ambivalent about Isom. Sometimes he seems like good police, and sometimes he screws the pooch, like in this interview, and it's hard to square. How he comes across to me, 554, is someone who doesn't like get the opportunity to do a lot of, you know, serious cases, which I'm sure Tallahassee has its fair share of murders, violent crimes. You know, it's all right. It's not Miami, but you know, it's he's almost like a cop from some rural North Dakota, you know, back end town where nothing happens and everyone leaves their door open. And I don't know, would that happen in North Dakota? Some very quiet place, you know? That's how he comes across to me, which, you know, doesn't add up with his age and experience and his location. So who knows? But you know, in the Jeffrey Lacasse interview, Isom just seems to like miss really like obvious things. And Tamara Demko interview, she actually has to stop Isom from running away down a rabbit hole. Sorry, rabbit. You know, and bring him back to school. You know, it's weird.
So his birthday was the 5th. I left Monday the 30th, so she must have come into town Saturday, the evening of the 28th.
What month? June. This past June.
Just now. So June 28th, and then and then she was there with the boys the 29th, and then I met her on the morning of the 30th when I picked up the kids to take them to South Florida.
Do you know when she left?
I could probably find it like in my email and stuff. I think she was here for like one more day, and then Danny went up to New York because I was with the kids in Miami for a good long while. I was there. I drove back July 10th, so I was there almost 2 weeks. And so I think he went up the next day.
Okay. Do you know her name?
I do. It's Amy Adler. Oh my gosh.
A.D.
Adler.
And she's a professor of law at
Yeah.
NYU?
Yeah.
What kind of car does she drive?
I have no idea. I know she has a car. She lives in New York City.
Here we go. I think was that the first car question from Car Guy Isom. Yeah, I think he asks about 45 different car related questions in this one interview. And of course, Wendy's got her big continuity here as well with, I have no idea. Cars are not important to me. You saw mine. I drive a minivan. I'm a simple woman.
Well, so I mean, she was driving down. I mean, she flew down here, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you have her phone number?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know how long they were dating even. It's
Hey, Running Bird, is there a set time that we start these shows? No, not really, but usually 10:30 GMT, 5:30 p.m. EST, and yeah, I usually use EST to base it on. So if you're in New York, Miami, Atlanta, Raleigh, whatever, you know, it's 5:30 p.m. usually.
seemed kind of serious if she met the kids, but I don't really know. He's been going up to New York for like conferences and stuff since Lincoln was about a few months old. So he's been going up there 3.5 years. So I my guess was that they might have known each other for a long time, but have been dating. I don't know how long.
Well, let me ask you something. Does his relationship with her have anything to do with your all's divorce?
No.
No, it had nothing to do with.
Yeah, he would fly up to New York all the time to bang up another professor, and that's why he had to go. As in divorce, not murder. Yeah, has anyone, you know who's not in the chat tonight, guys? Fancy Fiction. So we were in her chat. We got honorable mention on her show. And she hasn't even thought, because she must be really busy filming those windsurfers or whatever, huh? Yeah, real busy. I hope she takes her study books about the case to review on the beach. You hear that, Fancy?
No.
An extramarital affair or anything?
No, but the only thing I'm thinking is Amy. I don't know what Amy's full divorce situation is like. So if you're gonna think of someone who's not thrilled with Danny, I don't know how happy her husband or ex-husband is with the situation.
Do you know anything about him?
Okay. Again, you know, that's the first finger pointed, right? She can't point at Lacasse. That's Jane's job. Jane has been fully prepped and is probably driving to the TPD right now. So, what can Wendi do? Yes, yes. If you're looking for someone who wouldn't be too happy with Danny, I don't know what their situation is with their divorce. Could be a jealous husband. You know, that would not be something that would come up to a normal person. You know, without, you know, if if the husband had been like calling her up all the time, or if Dan had said to Wendi, like, hey, yeah, it's going nice with Amy, but God, her husband is a nightmare. He's really trying to get her back. And, you know, if there was something like that to give an indication, but without that, for a normal person, I doubt they'd point that finger without any reason. You know what I mean? Would you? I wouldn't.
What do you think about him?
So you know Amy Adler, she's a professor at NYU. She was down here from the end of June through the first part of July.
I think just a few days.
Right.
Yeah.
As visiting, but he'd been seeing her when he goes to New York on these conference trips.
Well, he's in New York in the summertime. We have a week on, week off schedule with the boys. So whenever I have them for a week, he goes up to New York for a week. So he's been spending a lot of time up there.
Did he relate to you that he'd been seeing her up in New York, or that's where they met, or anything of that nature?
He didn't tell me about it, but I feel like he was pretty vocal with like our friends and people probably since December about her being his girlfriend. So
Okay. Who would be his best friend?
When we were still together, he had two best friends. Neither of them are in Tallahassee.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm completely blanking on their last names right now.
That's
There's
okay.
Matt Price, that was his best man at our wedding. And Josh Berman, who, Matt is in DC and Josh is in New York. Actually, he has a friend, I don't know if they're so close, but he and the boys sleep over at their house a lot. They're in Cairo, Georgia.
Okay.
That's probably his closest friend here.
Do you know his name?
His name's Alex Greenberg. He's a veterinarian in town, and they've got kids around the same age as our kids.
He's a vet here in town?
Mm-hmm.
Isom, she just said he's in Cairo, Georgia. He's not in Tallahassee.
Or his office is?
Maybe in Cairo.
Isom's probably never been out of Tallahassee, huh? His whole life.
Oh, he doesn't have an office in Tallahassee.
I don't think so.
He's a vet in Cairo.
Their house is in Cairo.
Isom, that might as well be on Mars for you, my friend.
His wife is a dentist. I don't know if her practice is in town or in Cairo either. His wife is Maya.
This is another favorite thing of Wendi to do, is to list the professions of everyone she knows. Yes, he's a congressman, and he's a dentist, veterinarian. They have their own firm. You know, it's just like, look at me, look at me.
YA.
Okay. You're being very helpful, okay, and I know it's hard.
I'm trying.
You're doing fine.
What's happening.
You're doing fine. I know it's all the shock.
Nice catch, Leah. Leah says, Isom is way too nice. She is staring into his eyes like he is a sugar daddy. Yeah, that is a tactic that these dangerous personalities love to do. Heavy eye contact, holding your vibe. It's a hypnosis thing. It's a, flirtation thing. Mind control. It's dangerous, guys. If you catch people doing it to you too much, reconsider them as people.
I know it's coming to you all at once. Okay.
I don't know who would do this.
Okay. Well, it appears from what we've seen so far that someone intentionally hurt Danny. Okay, intentionally. Okay, I don't
know who it is.
No, and I don't
What if they come after the boys?
I don't think that's going to be.
She's breathing like she's just been in a car accident, or like someone has broken into the house late at night and she's run upstairs and is hiding in the wardrobe with a kitchen knife, ready to defend herself, but scared senseless. That's really hard to maintain.
I have no indication at this time that that's a threat, okay? But the boys are going to stay with you. You're not going back over to Trescott, okay?
No, I don't live there anymore.
I know you don't. But the boys are going to stay with you, okay? And they'll be fine.
I don't know if I can take care of them like this.
All right. Where's your closest family at?
Miami. We need to get them started on the drive because won't be able to take care of the boys, and because I need familial support and my parents are old and they have a business, we better all go to Miami, because I'll need the support. That's another thing she really throws into this interview is all the justifications why she needs to leave town immediately, to be away from police, to be away from prying eyes, from being away from reporters, to have, these layers of protection. Wendi can say, I didn't make any decisions. My job is to take care of those boys. My parents said that it was best that I speak to a lawyer, and the lawyer said it was best that I don't speak to police. Layers and layers and layers of people that made decisions for her. And all she did was follow advice because it was her priority. Her number one sole priority was to take care of those boys that she didn't ask about when their father was shot while they were in his care.
My family actually just talked to my brother this morning. My parents are in Coral Springs.
Okay.
And my brother, I have two brothers, but I'm very close to one of them who is in
very close. A little too close, maybe? What is going on with you two?
In Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. All right. So that's where you're from originally, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
His family's in Canada. Did they know? Did you tell them?
No, they haven't been notified yet.
God.
Third objective. Okay, we've got the very obvious one of it wasn't me. And okay, within that objective, we'll throw in it might have been this person, or this person. A student that got a bad grade. That's a good one, huh? Yeah, because that happens on the reg. So that's objective one. It wasn't me. It might have been these others. Okay. Objective two. I'm going to need to get out of town because I can't take care of the boys. Blah, 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 blah. Lawyer. That's objective two. Objective three is information gathering. There are certain things that we know that Wendi can't know for sure. And one of them will be how honest Danny has been with his mom and dad about the situation between them. He won't have been 100% honest. He will have managed the information given to his mom and dad. But which information? For all Wendi knows, when Ruth and Phil are told, the first thing out of their mouths might be, well, we think it was obviously Wendi or her family. They've been doing this, and this because Dan's told us. So she needs to know where they are, how they've reacted, and all the rest of it. And there's a load of other categories of information gathering that she's going to be going in and out of as well. So 3 objectives at the moment. Let's see if there's any more.
Okay. This is what I want to do, okay?
Just imagine, guys, you've gone to the theater. You've paid money. You've dressed up nice. You've pre-ordered your intermission drinks. You know, you're making an occasion out of it. You've gone to a nice restaurant before you hit the theater, and you're looking forward to the play. And the lights come on the stage, and there's an actor on the stage crying like this. You're going to want your money back. It's so unmoving, you know. And to all you sympathy heads out there, Fancy Fiction was going on about how she watches a video of a deaf child being given a hearing aid for the first time and hearing their mother's voice for the first time. And it's a heartwarming video. And Fancy Fiction bursts into tears because she's a feeler, right? So feelers have this extra depth of feeling perception where they are moved easily, right? You could take the biggest feeler in the world, put them in front watching this, and they're not going to feel one thing because it's completely fake.
This is what happened. Okay. Daniel's been shot. Okay. And we have to find out why and who did this. Can you help with that?
I will try.
Okay. What I want to do right now to try to expedite things, okay, but I need your permission, is I want to take your cell phone and download all the information out of it.
Sure.
Do you have a problem with that?
No.
Okay. And then.
Okay. Isom is clawing back a few points here. Because if that was a tactic of suspicion, I think he did damn well, right? He just went through a very kind of calm, to the point, non-threatening rundown of the situation. He said, Danny's been shot, and we have to find out why and who did this. Can you help with that? You know, that question and the way it's framed is suggestive of you're not under suspicion. We want your help. And it was done well, yeah. And he followed it up real quickly of what I want to do to expedite things, to get things moving, is I want to take your cell phone and download all the information from it. Do you have a problem with that? I need your permission. You know? So if she is under suspicion by Isom, and he's just acting like this, you're not under suspicion, I'm your substitute father until Harvey can get on a plane sort of vibe, then he's doing well. Is that what he's doing? I know what you mean, 554. What did you say? He is, I can't remember the word you used, but he's an enigmatic. He's an enigma. We don't know. Is he good or bad?
And we're going to make arrangements for you to get the kids, or we'll get the kids somehow, okay? Because the kids are at daycare, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to need their mother.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. I got to get a form for you to sign, and then I'm going to get the phone started, okay?
Oh my God. I have a lot of friends.
I know.
How do you know that?
Well, you had two of them up there.
I think that this is a good time, guys. We're just up to an hour now. So this is a good time for everyone to take a break and go and leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is part 1 in a full Wendi Adelson interview with Isom series, guys. This is probably our last time we visited this video. It took 6 episodes. So can you imagine like missing one of those episodes, and then you come back and we're already on episode 3, but you've missed episode 2? That would be a nightmare. And the way to avoid that nightmare is to go and subscribe to the channel right now. And also, if anyone would like to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee on buymeacoffee.com, or leave a super chat or a super thanks. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to leave the link to buymeacoffee.com. But I'll put it in the description right now. So check that in 5 minutes or so.
There for a last minute lunch date, right?
Last minute.
Well, I mean, you went up there, you're sitting with them. You have friends.
I do. What I meant by it is that Danny didn't treat me very well. And I'm
Okay.
so scared that maybe someone did this. Not because they hate Danny, but because they thought this was good somehow.
Oh, are you saying that you think maybe one of your friends would have done something
Who
like
would
this?
do this?
I don't know. That's why you're here, and that's why we're talking. Would you ever
Whoa.
ask someone to?
That little space of silence there, Wendi just did. I think she's starting to think like what I'm thinking now. And I've watched this interview 45 times minimum. Well, maybe not that many, but plenty. You know, I have it on all the time. You know, sometimes when I work, I just put this on and have it as a kind of ambient noise. Something is very wrong with me. What was I going to say? Yeah, Isom, she's trying to work out, is he being nice? Like I'm not under suspicion? Or is he pretending to be nice because I am under suspicion and he wants my cell phone? I mean, she doesn't care. She knew her cell phone was going to be ripped apart anyway. I mean, she's had all that prepped. She's been laying a pattern of using her cell phone for months. Oh, I delete my messages like it's a calendar. Yeah, I treat my texts like a to-do list. So when I accomplish one task, I just delete a text.
To do something like this?
Not a million.
Like when I'm having an affair with another man, I just when I conclude the affair, I go and I delete the text, and then I know that I've done my affair.
Years.
Okay. Do you think someone would do this for your benefit without asking you?
No.
What good does it serve?
I made my brother, the one, his name is Charlie, the one I'm really close to. He makes a lot of jokes in bad taste, and it was a joke he made. He bought the TV for me this morning that got broken, and I was talking to him about whether it made sense to pay to fix it or whether I should get a new one, and it was always his joke that like he knew Danny treated me badly, and it was always this joke. He said, I looked into hiring a hitman, and it was cheaper to get you this TV, so instead I got you this TV. I mean, he would never. He's my big brother, and he's been taking care of me since I was little, but he would never. And I told that to the repair guy this morning.
Right. That's okay.
I said,
Everyone in the family just loves this joke, don't they? It's not even funny. Like, let me put that into a situation. You're out with a bunch of friends. Wendi is bitching on and on about her divorce, going, oh, you'll never guess what he did now. He said I can't go to Miami and relocate with the kids. I can't take them away from him, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, just will not shut up about this situation, right? I mean, how old would that get really quickly? Jeff Lacasse said it got old. I believe him. And then Charlie comes up and says, yeah, I even got her a TV. And when I gave her the TV, I said, I was going to get you a Hitman, but a TV was cheaper. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Is anyone like going to laugh at that? Like it's really funny? The most you would get if someone wanted to be polite is, that's it. Why would you repeat that? You know, even a good joke isn't worth repeating as much as they repeated this joke. It loses its charm, you know?
he asked me how much it cost, and I said I didn't know because it was a gift, because my brother said it was cheaper than a hitman. It was my divorce present.
Okay.
Such a horrible thing to say. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
And again, you know, people, I think the consensus is around this, why she said that to General Isom, why she said it to the TV repairman that day, you know, the consensus is that it was Wendy's insurance policy. If anything did go down in the family, she could say, you know, that would be interest in Charlie. And she could also say, why would I mention that if I had anything to do with it? You know, one of those, what do you call it? Red herring, false flag. I don't know what you call it. You know, these little false volunteer information, whatever, you know, voluntary information. Right? Which is, you know, quite clever. Does create some doubt. But of course, you know, only for a normal person, not the devil in Prada.
But even my family, who felt like I had been mistreated, would never do something like this. Never.
Well, you guys have been divorced for over a year.
And by the way, guys, that link to buymeacoffee.com is in the description, along with our Discord server, where you can actually see a photograph of the coffee we enjoyed today. The fun never ends.
Has there been any type of abuse in that time?
Of him towards me?
Yeah.
No. It's he's litigious, and we have an ongoing case because the house, it shouldn't be, I don't know, it shouldn't be in my name anymore, but when we settled the case of our divorce, he said, one of the agreements the court said was, Danny wanted to stay in the house. They said, you can have the house, but you need to pay her half of the amount of what the house is worth. And he agreed to it, and then months passed and he just never paid me.
Okay.
And so we have ongoing litigation where I filed a motion in the court to have him pay me what he said he would, and he filed a counter motion for sanctions against my attorney because he thought that she did something wrong, which she didn't. But so, I mean, she withdrew from the case, was going to serve as a witness, so she's not going to lash out at him for it. She's using the legal.
Yeah, she's not going to lash out at him. She's not going to run over to Trescott with a gun and blow his head off because of some, you know, legal proceeding that she withdrew from anyway. Yeah, it probably wasn't the attorney. So we can move past her. Now, Amy Adler's ex.
Process to do it. My parents are, very angry towards him. But even when they're around my kids, they would never say a bad word about my kid's father. They're really, really careful.
If I'm Isom right now, and look, I don't have 30 plus years of police experience and, the training and everything like that. And I have to demur to the experts and say, Isom is the one between me and him. He's the one that probably knows what he's doing better than I would. Okay. I admit it, but if I were in his shoes, I would probably be saying something like, okay, so Danny didn't pay you the money for the house, even after the judge told him to. And then he went after your lawyer and she left the case. So where did that leave the situation with the house? Your parents are really angry with him. How angry? Your brother's telling all these great jokes about hitmen, puzzle pieces.
About that. They just like him, but they know he's the father of my kids. They would never do that.
Right.
I don't know who would be angry enough with him.
Well, that's what I have to find out.
To do something like this.
The brother that you're real close to, I have to do a lot of elimination at the same time. The brother that you're really close to, the one that joked about the TV and everything, what'd you say his name was?
Charlie.
Charlie, and he's in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what kind of car he has.
Second car question.
He has like 5 cars.
Okay, tell me all of them.
He drives a, I think one of them is an unmarked police car.
Oh, really?
He's a bit of a character.
Okay.
So I don't know what he's driving at the time.
Right.
But I'll tell you, he's a periodontist.
Yeah, it's a 1974 Dodge sedan with the black and white, paint job. Yeah, he's got Elwood tattooed on his knuckles.
And he has this practice where he works from early in the morning till late at night. So if you ever wanted to find his whereabouts, he's working all day long until early in the morning till late at night, always driving to a different office, working.
Oh, he goes to different offices?
Yeah, he works in different offices all over South Florida, does implants for people. And he works really hard all the time. He has a girlfriend, so he's pretty much accounted for all the time.
Charlie, is that his first name?
Charlie's his first name.
Not Charles?
I think Charles is his legal name. No one calls him that.
What's his last name?
Adelson.
What's his middle?
J-A-Y.
Same spelling, Adelson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Hey, Matt Taomina from Chapel Hill says, when she found out Dan was still alive, the phrase she used was, "Oh, that's a game changer." Think about that. Yeah, it is a game changer, isn't it? It changes the game, because that's all this is to them, right? Is a game, And for a plan as in depth, and I think we have to give Wendi the first prize for the depth score on how deeply she went through the plan and added her own plan on top of the General Adelson plan, being largely Donna and Charlie, hiring, going to Catherine to go and get some people who could rough someone up, and blah, 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 blah. The layers of extortion, right? The layers of the plot. But Wendi just kept a few little plots of her own, didn't she? Real tight to the chest there. And, yeah, just certain phrases that she has. She's gone to all this work, all this thought, all this planning, preparation, practicing in the mirror, going through the phraseology that she would use, testing one sentence, trying it another way, maybe even recording herself. Maybe not. That'd be a bad thing to forget to delete, wouldn't it? What do you mean he's dead? Or is he, like then the cops find this little rehearsal tape? That'd be brilliant. Oh, please let that exist. I hope I have a dream tonight where that exists and someone sends a copy to Isom and he comes out of retirement for one last arrest. What was I saying? Yeah, all the thought and the planning, and she just doesn't, she's not capable, it seems, of really seeing what she sounds like to a normal person. Charlie as well on the stand was like, you think you're coming across well when you say things like, well, I said, yeah, we should just fuck with his head. He didn't say that, but in not word for word, but that was the point. Be a jerk back and see what happens. Dress the kids up in Hitler Youth uniforms and take a picture of them outside a Presbyterian church.
What?
What? Oh my gosh.
What?
I can't believe this is happening.
Okay, all right. Let me go get the form for the phone.
Do I need to be read my Miranda rights or something if you're gonna look at my phone?
I can read you Miranda if you want to hear
I don't
that.
know, I'm just trying to make sure I'm being
I have no
protected.
reason at this point to suspect you in this incident. Okay.
You see, I think most people that know the legal system at least a little bit don't want to be read their Miranda warning. Because once it's read and they've said the words, anything you say can and will be used against you, that's the point where it's for pretty certain, you know, other things could happen, but it's for pretty certain that everything after that, the reading of that warning will be admissible as evidence in your prosecution, should that ever come. If you're not read your Miranda warning, I think it's pretty easy for a defense attorney to say, well, they weren't read their Miranda warning, so you can't use that because it wasn't made clear to them the situation. You know, it's pretty easy. That's why the Miranda warning is there, right? So the fact that she, as an attorney, is saying, do I need to be, she's asking to be read the Miranda warning, which is unusual. People want to avoid that usually. You start getting read your Miranda and it's like, oh shit, here we go. That's why the cops always do it. You remember Chandler Halderson when they read it to him and they were like, oh, so just because you're up here, we're going to read you your constitutional rights. It's just on this little card, and I read it right off the card. And then when they read it, they try and keep a real, like, sort of cheerful disposition. They're like, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you can say will be used against you in court of law. You have the right to an attorney, and you will be able to speak with an attorney before or during any questioning. So, did you understand those rights as I gave them to you?
I couldn't tell from the way you were talking.
Chandler Halderson's like, oh, could I have the card? I missed some. I'm still having problems with my brain.
To me in the car if I was a suspect.
Well, no, the reason was I didn't want to get into everything until we got up here.
Is he still in the hospital?
He's at the hospital, yes. Yes.
And he's alone.
Yes.
And nobody knows he's there.
Well, you know now, and while I'm going to get this phone taken care of, I'm going to have a victim advocate come in here, and hopefully you can supply her with his parents.
Oh my God.
I'm assuming his parents would be his next of kin.
He's a sister he's really close with.
Where is she?
They're all in Canada. He's Canadian.
Okay. All right. They live in Canada.
They all live in Canada.
Okay.
His family is all.
Now, just don't jump to conclusions on that.
Hey, Amy Bowen says Isom did not believe Wendi. Well, Amy, I have to say, and this is a surprise to me, but on this rewatch, I'm starting to think that might be the case. We'll have to see how we go with that. I mean, I've always believed that he just pretty instantaneously took the position of supportive older male, you know, almost like an uncle, and just gave her a big papa cuddle and took her home safe, you know, and that all of his suspicion went away. But now on this rewatch, I'm starting to think that that might all have been his act, and if it is his act, it's a damn good one. I'm keeping an eye on him this time, Amy.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
All right. Let me go get the form for the phone, okay?
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Sorry, you okay?
Yeah. No.
I meant to,
That's fine. Our last interaction wasn't nice.
oh, you're talking about personal.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. I didn't want him to take the boys this afternoon. I had wanted to have them. And I talked over with my brother and realized, if their dad wants to take them swimming, it's not worth getting upset over. He sent me that message at 9:15 this morning.
You were telling me before, when we were riding up here, that the agreement was that you're all gonna have some type of phone call at 11:15 this morning. Is that correct?
Well, not exactly, just that we needed to have the talk at some point before, we have to decide before Monday of what to do about his school, where Ben's gonna go to school. And he said, I'm gonna be done. I thought it was 11:15, but when we listened to the message, it was 10:30.
Okay.
When he said, I'm gonna be out of, he went to like a workout class at the gym. He
At
said,
Premier.
At Premier.
Mhm.
He said, I'm gonna be out of it by such and such a time. You could call me then. And I called, but I think we could see what time I called him. I thought it was more of like, let's see, recent calls. I called him. Well, that's him calling in at 9:02. I called him at 11:42 and got his answering machine.
He called you at 9:02?
He called me at 9:02.
Mm-hmm.
The repair guy was there, and honestly, I leave my ringer off a lot of the time, so I didn't even hear the call come in. He left me a message. I called him at 11:42 and left him a message, just saying, okay, I want to talk about school for Ben, and I assume I'll see you at 4:30 today.
Clarissa H. I love your comment here, Clarissa. She says, Tallahassee is a beautiful place to raise children. Yeah, and especially Northeast Trescott Drive, right? Wendi wanted to get back to Miami so Donna would watch the boys and she could go out looking for hot Latino men her parents wouldn't approve of. Yeah. She did, didn't she? I mean, I think Wendi felt like Donna created her life. She met Markel when she was 25, 26. That's a child, that's young. You don't think it is when you're 25. You think that's it. You've stopped developing now. And it's just all going to be the same, but it's not, is it? And so she had these two kids, which she probably secretly hates on some level because they're Dan's, and just wasn't into the whole raising them thing as stylistic assets, in their head to toe Burberry, Louis Vuitton wear, that she poses with them. What was that bar mitzvah about? With her breastises just fully out, pretty much fully out, just jammed together and squeezed through the center hole of her upper dress, bust. Unbelievable. Embarrassing for her, embarrassing for her boys, embarrassing to the rabbi. I'm sure he felt like this is unorthodox.
When I figured he's going to take the kids swimming,
Right.
And he'll drop them at the house at 4:30.
Okay. So in other words, the whole meeting at 10:30 or 11:15
Just didn't happen.
Right. Okay. All right. Let me get this. There's a lot of information on here. Okay. it'd probably be easier if I read it to you.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he does share some genetics with Chief Wiggum, doesn't he, guys? I mean, he even looks a bit like him, which is weird because Chief Wiggum is a cartoon. But yeah, it pretty much. It's like if you took Chief Wiggum out of The Simpsons, turned him into a real person, it would be this.
Hi, Wendi Adelson, and I got to change this.
Adelson.
I know I got to change that.
It's okay. It's Adelson.
Actually, it's spelled right. I said it wrong. Adelson. Do hereby authorize and give my permission to Investigator Isom, who has identified himself to me as a law enforcement officer with the necessary assistance of a digital forensic examiner to make a full and complete search of my cell phone or other digital media, along with data located on additional data sources, locations such as connected to, at, and were at the Tallahassee Police Department. That's the address. I have been advised that law enforcement are engaged in investigation concerning an alleged violation of federal or state law pertaining to a shooting incident. I do further authorize to give permission to take from my cell phone located at 230 47th Avenue.
I'm sorry, is that the police station?
That's where we're at right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Computers, cell phones, computer peripherals, digital media data, which may or may not have a connection, value, or.
Yeah, Leo from 544 says, yeah, that could be the case. Police are generally not well trained in modern interview techniques. A bunch of departments still use the read technique, and he just is always focused on the wrong thing. You know, I don't even see Isom using the read technique, really. This doesn't come off as a read technique interview at all. I guess you could say there's rapport building. I mean, all the way through. But there's no dossier technique. There's no, oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, alternate question. You know, is it possible that the divorce got too much for you and you just couldn't take it anymore? Did you have to do something to protect yourself? You know? Yeah, there's none of that in this. But I don't think the read technique is generally bad or outdated. It still does quite well, doesn't it? The thing that I don't like is the frickin' cookie jar thing. Anytime I see that now, it's just like, oh, give it a rest. Someone needs to change this up and like modify it or something, you know, just stop talking cookies in interrogations, guys, please.
Or relevance as evidence in said investigation. The above.
Hi, Tracy. L.
Law enforcement officer has fully and fairly advised me on rights as follows. I have the right to refuse consent to the search of my property. I have the right to consult with an attorney or any other person of my choice prior to giving them consent and permission to search the above described property. Any cellular phones, computers, computer peripherals, and digital media or data, along with any data located on these items or on additional digital storage locations such items can connect to, found by said officers in the course of their search, can be used as evidence against me.
Okay, while he's reading the extended version of the Miranda warning, what the hell? I've never heard that before. We're going to have to go over that again in a sec, I think, guys. But I just want to comment on Riding Shotgun's post, comment, whatever, who says she hands it to Lacasse and Dempko for enlightening Isom. Yeah, can you imagine where this case would be without Jeff Lacasse and Tamara Dempko, both of whom we're going to see in Donna's trial, I assume. Certainly, yeah. You know, Tamara Dempko, we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen since her interview with Isom, which was fantastic, guys. We have already done a video on that, but I think we might we might roll that one again, you know, try and improve the audio a bit and see if that would pick up on any new stuff. But the old one is on our channel page if you want to check that out. Yeah, both of those interviews, Lacasse and Demko. It's just funny how, I mean, this is why the case just has so many levels. How could you imagine? How often do you see someone, never mind two individuals, coming into a situation like this, having, you know, very good critical thinking, lateral thinking, you know, the ability to connect the dots where, you know, they're connected to the people involved, but they're also highly intelligent, trained. You know, Lacasse is a professor of social work, and Tamara Demko, I forget what her role was, but also, you know, academia. How often is it that we see people come into a case with that much information, insight, and be able to deliver it in such cogent, meaningful, clear, articulate expression? Truly incredible. And not something that any Adelson could have anticipated. They thought Lacasse would be apprehended on his way to Tennessee and that he'd freak out and want to speak to an attorney, and that General Isom would be gunning for him, probably beat him mercilessly with a rubber hose on the way back to Tallahassee PD, and that, you know, he'd try and wiggle out of it, and that Wendi would go on the stand and say, it's just crazy when someone you're dating murders the father of your children, like what he did. And that'll be it for him, right? Death penalty. Death penalty. And Wendi wouldn't bat an eyelid. She'd be out to dinner with the CEOs and the psychologists going, I guess you never know about people. You know, it's crazy. He sounds crazy when I speak about him like this.
For others in a court of law. I fully understand and appreciate these rights and wish it be specifically understood that I'm hereby giving consent permission to conduct the search of the cellular phones, computers, computer peripherals.
Okay. This is the special consent form for cell phone. I thought it was like an extended version of the Miranda that they only read to law professors or something.
Digital media data, along with any data located on any additional digital storage location such items can connect to, solely because of my desire to freely and voluntarily cooperate and assist in this investigation. I have not been promised anything or been threatened or coerced in any way, nor has any inducement of any kind been held out to me in return for this consent and permission to search. Okay, can I have your phone now?
Yeah. Stupid question, but are you gonna give it back?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I feel like I need to help
No,
my
you're gonna
family. What's going on?
No, you're gonna get it back. It's just I'm trying to expedite this now so I can get it back to you sooner.
I understand.
Be right back.
General Isom has no idea how long that's going to take. Fortunately, Wendi has cleared her phone of most things. She's got a few pictures of her kids, and she's kept anything on there that makes her look like a normal, innocent mother. But, you know, those phone downloads can take 10, 15 hours. We saw with Chandler Halderson's girlfriend, you know, 21-year-old kid, very active on her phone, Snapchat, takes screenshots of everything, you know, huge data build up. And the phone was with the cops for like overnight, you know. General Isom has no idea. A tech guy wouldn't have any idea until they get it connected, right? And see how much data is on it. How many apps, how many logins, the browser history, whatever. Rabbit says, how ticked off do you think Wendi was when the two boys were introduced to Amy? Not as ticked off as when Dan and Amy were Skyping the boys from bed, all cozy in their gym jams. And Wendi acts like, well, I really didn't think that was appropriate. And it's like, Wendi, well, it wouldn't be appropriate if he was bunking her, you know, and Skyping the boys, but you can Skype your children from bed while you're in bed. That's fine. Okay. Jesus. Yeah, you're damn right. Wendi was doing a big data dump, browser, Facebook search, stalking, internet, lookup, check, read, biography, you know, the whole professional, personal life of Amy Adler online was scrutinized by Wendi. And what did she find out? She found out that she's a law professor at New York University with tenure, which Wendi didn't have, and that her family have a house in the Hamptons, and that her brother, Amy Adler's brother, was a famous fashion designer. Ooh, that sounds like high society, doesn't it? What's your parents do again? Oh, they're just some Brooklyn scammers, some hustlers from Brooklyn. Probably started out cleaning the bugs off people's windshields, you know, in Sheepshead Bay. And now they're only dentists. Holiday home, they don't have one because they just live in the icon, looking where they can look out the window and see their own institute. Where do you go on vacation? Well, you rent a chalet, a cabin for $300 a night on Key West. $300 a night doesn't sound very exclusive to me. You know, that's like a fairly good hotel. That's like a pretty good hotel. Yeah. That's not that much. On Key West, you get a whole cabin. Okay, I know that they got a rate because they probably did the bookkeeping for the owner or something, you know. But even so, $3,000 a night, that would be exclusive.
Okay, Wendi. Let me get your.
That's the friend I was with calling. Do you want to just decline it? I guess I should talk to anyone right now.
Yeah.
Is there someone I can talk to about what to tell my kids?
Yes, we're going to get to that. Give me your phone number on this phone again.
954-803-0079.
Seeing a few new names in the comments tonight, guys. Mark Rance. Yeah, welcome, Mark. Welcome.
Can I get Daniel's cell phone number?
202-276-8200.
202-276-8200. Okay. Do you know his passcode to unlock his phone?
I don't.
You don't know it?
I don't have a passcode. When I was with him, he didn't have the kind of phone that needed a passcode.
Okay.
But he's got an iPhone since then, so
Yeah.
he may have one. And I don't can't remember. Like, actually, I remember his passcode to something, but it was like a word in Hebrew with the word one, so it's a word and not numbers. I don't. I could give you my children's birthdays in case you want to try that. I really have no idea what it would be.
Okay, let's.
That's got to be a weird thing to do, huh? Like, as a cop, there's someone who's been shot in the face. You're looking for clues. You find their iPad. You've got to get the code, and you learn the birthday of their kids, and it's one of those, and then you're in, right? But the guy who owns it is dead or soon to die, and it just must be a weird, you're doing the action that is so familiar. How many times a day does Dan pick up that iPad, put it in the code, and he's in, right? So that action in itself is almost like experiencing Dan while he's got a bullet in his brain and he's in the hospital.
Go ahead with the children's birthdays.
So Ben is 7/29, so it could be like 0729.
What year?
2009. They're 14 months apart.
10/13 of 10.
Yeah. I was complaining about him at the lunch.
Sorry. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was complaining about him at the lunch, because I was really trying to give the impression that he would continue to affect my life because I didn't know he was going to be shot. And, I was also complaining when I was, boxing all of the stuff in my house up, ready to move to Miami, which I knew I was going to do. So, when people started coming round to 3303 Aqua Ridge Way, and they noticed all these boxes, these big cardboard moving boxes with all my stuff in it, they said, "You did that fast?" And, and I was also complaining when I was down in Florida a couple of weeks ago and had to clean out my childhood room, to make space for me and the boys when we would move there after the shooting. And I was also complaining to the TV repair guy while he was fixing the TV that my brother bought me as a divorce present, quotes, because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman, which we didn't do.
What is going on?
What is going on? Who could have done this? And after they're going to come after me? Who's next? Is Jeff this much of a lunatic? Oh, I didn't even think about Jeff. I hope to God not. I know. Can you imagine Matt Tayoma says, "That's right. Amy's brother is a famous fashion designer with homes in the Hamptons. Everything the Adelsons could only dream of." Can you imagine the Adler's wine cellar? they probably have a bottle that was given to them by Elvis Presley that they're saving for just the right occasion. Is that a good choice, Elvis Presley? Who better could have given you a bottle of wine? Maybe Princess Diana. You know, she left a whole case of wine back here in 95 when she visited. Leah, why are they sitting so close? That's a control tactic, you know, from Wendi. She's leaning into Isom to keep his attention, to appear up front, and Isom is subconsciously copying her body language. Or maybe it's not subconscious.
Okay, they're gonna take your phone, they're gonna hook it up to a machine, download the information. It doesn't take a whole lot unless you got a lot of stuff on there.
I don't know what's on there. I have to use the bathroom.
Okay, no problem.
Is there?
Yep.
Is it close by?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks so much for the super sticker, Leah. That's very kind of you, and we really appreciate it. If anyone else would like to support the channel, guys, we are well on the way to purchasing a microphone and a nice web camera, because we might do some more like on-screen activities soon. Yeah, we got some great tips from one of our core community fans today about the about a fairly decent microphone that's not too much money. So all the donations go towards better equipment for the show, which ultimately benefits you more than us. So yeah, all donations are put to good use and muchly greatly appreciated. Super sticker, super thanks, super chat, and there's a link to buymeacoffee.com in the description for the video, along with an open link to our Discord server where all the core community fan base live.
That's right, it's real close by. Okay, you can leave your stuff there, it's not going anywhere, and I'll put you right around the corner here, okay?
Okay.
Do you want some water after that?
Okay.
Okay,
Can't leave.
not yet. You got somebody here?
Seriously? Okay, I'll hold it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
We just have to eliminate everything, okay? You know what she's saying, right?
I'm assuming I'm a suspect. I can't.
No, you're not a suspect. I don't consider you a suspect. I asked you to come up here. You came up here voluntarily. I've not read you Miranda. You are not under arrest. You are the closest thing to family that I have to Daniel right now, okay? You are.
I'm so sad for.
Hey, Chris Parks, listen, the sun never sets in Queensland, okay? It's 7:30 a.m., but it's also 3 in the afternoon. Get the grill going, and you know, what do they like to eat in Queensland? Shrimp.
So
I was thinking about something else. He told me that he comes. We have week on, week off, but on Wednesdays we do an overnight.
right.
And he told me that he might have some work up in New York and he might not be back in time for the Wednesday overnight. So there's no way that he did this because he had all kinds of plans like for next week that
So
were,
you're saying he would not hurt himself?
no,
Okay, all right,
it wasn't him.
okay. He has no reason to hurt himself or anything along that.
No, I mean, I can see him being really sad when we first got divorced.
Right.
But now he's got Amy and he loves those boys.
Okay,
And things were really good for him. There's no way he did this to himself.
I believe you.
Which really scares me because it means there's someone out there.
Yeah, Wendy. Like the big clue that he didn't shoot himself in the head is that there was no gun at the scene. There was a pen, but the pen wouldn't fire any bullets. You know, she's acting like they need her there to tell them that it wasn't a suicide. Whoa, hey, look, big spender. We got a super chat, guys, from our #1 fan this evening, riding shotgun, who always sits right up front. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you, riding. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. I think we should just keep you up there, always up front with your big gun.
That's willing to do this to him, and I'm scared for the kids.
Okay, I understand I
And
understand
they're at school right now, and I want to.
there's an officer at the school.
Okay.
The kids are fine.
Okay.
Okay, there's no,
I don't know how I'm gonna tell them.
well, we're gonna help you with that, okay? But here's what I have to do right now, and I'm just trying to, I wanna get this down, Pat. I know you don't have your phone to refer to,
Okay.
but that's okay.
You'll have all that information.
Right, because I'll check that against what you tell me.
Okay.
Your last phone your last personal contact, in other words, in person with Daniel, was when?
He goes by Danny.
Danny, okay.
No one calls him Daniel.
I don't know him, so I'm sorry.
I'm just telling
Okay,
you
Danny.
so that it just feels really personal. My last face-to-face contact with him.
Christina Anderson, how you doing tonight? All the way out of Tampa. Matt, she was searching teacher-student porn on her laptop, and Lacasse seemed to insinuate that she was very sexual. Yeah. Yeah. And taboo. You know, which brings me back to her brother. You know, she's got Charlie banging on about anally, you know, banging his Korean. I'll just say his Korean. I mean, that's what he would probably say, because he got brutalized at some wedding, you know. So he punished her by making it, you know, kind of hurt on purpose in a consensual way, apparently. But he was expressing it. Charlie was expressing it as a punishment. And he was expressing all that in front of his younger sister, which, you know, is a little on the what do you call it? The margins. It's close to the margins.
Wow. We do a lot of like leave off pickup at the school, right? Where one of us will take the kids to school, the other one picks them up. When was the last time I saw him? I definitely saw him when I picked the kids up. I feel like there's something since then, but that would have been.
No, I'm on the way. I'm not familiar with the.
Okay, I'll get Annie because she wanted it before. Yeah.
And that was that morning I drove down, so that was June 30th,
Okay.
whatever that Monday morning was that we drove down to Miami. I saw him, I met Amy. then we did a lot of Skype, like we'd Skype every day while I was gone. But that's not in person. I came back with my parents. We drove back all together. And then that Friday, which would have been last Friday, a week from today. So if today's the 18th, it was Friday the 11th. It's my other brother's birthday. And I would have seen him, but I had been with the kids for like 12 days straight, and I was getting really sad at the idea of drop off of Danny coming to pick him up. And so my folks said, you know what, why don't you just, so at about 4:45, I just went over a friend's house. I didn't see him that day. And then he had the kids, and I got some sort of laryngitis, and I was alone all weekend. So that was Saturday, Sunday. And then this week, I missed the kids, so I visited them at school on Monday and Tuesday.
They were staying with Danny?
They were with Danny that whole time, but Danny and I had started on days when we really missed the kids. We'd go have like lunch with them or breakfast with them. So I went and had lunch with them or read them a story. I saw them Monday, I saw them Tuesday. Wednesday was my overnight. And so so that was Wednesday, and then he had them Thursday, was yesterday.
Yeah.
So that was the last time I had face-to-face contact with him.
Was?
June 30th.
June 30th, okay.
Remember, guys, to like, share, leave a comment, especially the likes. We love the likes. Every time we aim for 100% likes. What does that help us with? It helps us with the algorithm. How does that help everybody? Well, it just does. So do it.
And then yesterday, y'all were conversing on text about this phone call or about this discussion for Ben.
On email, I think,
Okay.
about
And what is this thing with sexual something in the family? Harvey looks like a complete, I don't know what. I mean, what is the thought here? That Harvey was molesting everyone in the family? And then Charlie started molesting his sister? I mean, and Donna, do you think Charlie has banged his mom? I mean, is it that much? They've got this. Really? They're like some couple. They're like some weird couple, Charlie and Donna. You know? And then the thing with Robert, especially what Lacasse said about Robert, like the way he phrased it also could quite easily fall into the theory of some weird sexual activity within the family. He said something happened in that family and he wants nothing to do with it. You know? Very strange. We may never know the answers to these questions, guys.
We'd both spoken with an administrator at the school, and so yesterday morning I emailed him and said, I'd really love for him to go to this school. I think we should accept it. Here's why. And then I asked him a second question about Ben's birthday coming up, because I didn't have Ben on his birthday. He wanted this Lego thing, and I wanted to make sure that no one else got it for him. So I asked him if he was going to do a party for Ben, so I knew ahead of time whether people would be bringing presents or whatever, and so I knew whether he would have gotten it from someone else or whether I should buy it for him. And he wrote back and said, when your voice feels better, let's talk, because my throat was really hurting. He said, let's talk. We need to work this out for Monday. And I sent him an email. You'll see it sometime this morning while I was home working on my paper that said, okay, I'm ready to talk whenever you are. I don't know what time I sent it, but if I called him at 11:40, it was either before I called him, because I thought normally he would have called.
Okay.
Like when he said I'm done with the class at 10:30 and I had said, okay, let's talk, and then sent him a call or an email, like I thought it was weird I hadn't heard from him, but I just thought like, oh, maybe he's busy with something or showering.
But he told you at some point that he was going to Premiere this morning.
Yeah, no, that phone message says I'm going to Premiere. I'll be out 10:15, 10:30. And so that's, you
When
can
did,
call me after that.
when did you receive that phone message?
Maybe after the repair guy left, so maybe
This
at
morning?
like, yeah, this morning, like
Okay.
at 11-ish or something.
All right. So you're at your house with the repairman. He leaves. You go back to working on your papers. And then you leave your house around noon, drive down. Trescott's blocked. You turn around. You go back around on Benton. And then you go
It was
to
a tree.
Pardon?
I thought it was like a tree that fell down or something.
Right.
You know when it's a tree that fell down or something. You know what you usually see? A tree fallen down. They're big, especially when they're on the ground. They look a lot smaller when they're standing up because the top bit's so far away. But when a relatively small tree falls down, it's enormous. Especially on Trescott Drive.
So
I didn't even think like that's the house. I saw a few houses blocked off and I'm sorry, I wasted
sorry.
time.
No, you're not wasting my time. Did you?
If there is a situation when they need to put a roadblock because a tree's fallen down, they're not going to put it 3 miles up the road. It's not a freaking bomb scare. They put it near the tree.
I think I asked you before. You don't have a number for Amy. You do not have a contact number for her. But you know she's a professor at NYU.
Yeah.
You know that her and Danny have been seeing each other, and that she stayed here from the end of June to the 1st
Hey,
of July.
Matilda Yeager, how you doing tonight? I saw you on Fancy Fiction's surfing video today. Did you hear her give us an honorable mention? She said, True Crime Metrix, I've been meaning to give you a shout out. Meaning to give us a shout out, Fancy. Well, there's meaning it, and then there's doing it. And obviously, we weren't high on your list of priorities. No, you were out at the beach, filming surfers, not making videos, not watching our videos. But you did mention us by name, so that made us feel really special and warm inside.
At least 2 days, maybe. Yeah.
And she met the children.
Yeah, she met a few friends in town too.
And you don't know anything about her ex.
No, I know she was married.
Right. And she has children.
She has a son.
In New York.
In New York.
Okay.
She's a son. I think he's 14.
Okay.
Do
you know how old Amy is?
She's 50.
She's 50?
Yeah. She doesn't look 50. She's very.
God. So revealing. That's the other thing that Wendi it's not in her toolkit. She can't put her natural things back in the box sometimes. She just can't hide these nasty little things. Did you see that? How old is Amy? She's 50. She's 50? Yeah. Like that's what does that mean? What that she's really old? I think Wendy's only 35 here, maybe 36. So quite a bit her junior. Well, Wendi, that's why she has tenure and you don't. She's a lot of things more than you. She has more years, more success, more money, more houses, more important people in her family, more expensive, exclusive wine collection.
Very beautiful. She is, not that you can't be beautiful at 50, but she looks really young. She's very pretty and accomplished.
She doesn't look 50. She looks really beautiful. Not that you can't be beautiful at 50. All she's doing is highlighting how she thinks in terms of what age, looks. You know, it's like when the clerk in the liquor store said, "I'd like to see your ID," and she's like, "Here you go. I'm old as dirt. Here you go."
You know her date of birth?
I only know that she is 50. I don't, because I was looking her up one time, feeling.
Oh, okay. Okay, so she's 50. She goes by Amy Adler.
Oh, what a nice little bit volunteering information again, Wendy, that doesn't paint you in the best light, but that's okay because you're open and honest and have nothing to hide, right? Yeah, I was looking her up, and Isom gives this little chuckle. Facebook stalker. Oh, you sneaky thing. But I understand because we're all people here.
Her middle initial is M.
M, okay.
So that, like, if you looked her, oh my God, if you looked her up on the law school website, you'd find her.
I think it's really funny in the States. This thing about the middle initial, you know, that doesn't happen in England. Not really. You know, like Chandler Halderson. What's your full name? Chandler M. Halderson. And they say, Emma's in Michael. And he goes, yeah, Emma's in Michael. But it's not confirmed whether his middle name is Michael. It could be Matthew or Morris. It's probably not Morris. What other names begin with M? Michael, Matthew. Not you, Matilda. Just thinking for the men at the moment. Michael, Matthew, Murray. What else is there? Montgomery. What else is there? There's not many, are there? Muhammad. It's probably not Muhammad either. Yeah, my name is Chandler Muhammad Halderson. Wow. I think there's actually really few. Anyone in the chat, men, beginning with the letter M. Tell us your name. Not you, Matt. That's just Matthew, but short.
Her that way.
Okay.
Her brother's famous. He's like a famous fashion designer. So I think they spend a lot of weekends.
Michael, there's one.
It's like in the Hamptons, and she lives in the city and lives like, you know, good life.
Okay.
Does look like a good life, doesn't it? New York University. Fashion designer, brother. Bottle of wine from Lady Di.
You gave me a name of Matt Price, who's in DC.
That's his best friend.
Is that an attorney?
He's an attorney, yeah. I'm sorry you have to deal with so many lawyers.
That's okay, I'm used to it. I got to deal with the state attorney's office, public defender's office, private attorneys.
The only time I've ever been in this, I represent victims of crime. I represent immigrant victims of crime, so it's the only time I've ever been in this building. He's
okay.
Advocating for my clients.
And the other friend?
The other friend is Josh Berman, also attorney. He's in New York City.
A city attorney for New York?
No, he's private. They're both private.
Okay.
And they were like the historic best friends.
Okay.
From college and law school.
And then, of course, Alex is up in Cairo.
I know. I'm assuming they're close. I know that he sleeps over at their house a lot with the kids.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because the kids really love to play together or because they're close, but they spend a lot of time together. I'm sure they're close.
All right. Okay.
Danny's pretty religious, so like he'd be connected with like.
Hey, Kurt, I'm just catching up with the chat, but thank you so much for the generous super sticker. Very appreciated, Kurt Nygren. That's an interesting name. What's the genesis, Kurt?
Rabbis and stuff in town too.
Okay. All right. Which synagogue does he go to?
He goes to two. The one he's most strongly affiliated with is Shomer Torah.
Clarissa H. You might have to refresh the page if you've been watching for a while. We had to add it a little bit late. But the link for buymeacoffee.com is in the description for the video, I think. If not, you can just find us on buymeacoffee.com under True Crime Metrix.
And by the way, if you get a nod that I can use the bathroom, I could really use it. So
I'm gonna make
I
that
mean, I'm
happen
not
right
gonna
now.
die, but if I could just, that'd be great.
Welcome, Lee. God, was that already so long ago? 15 minutes ago. Lee is one of our biggest post-production commenters, guys. Every day there's like 10,000 comments from Lee, and all of them are great. So thank you, Lee. We really appreciate the support. I hope you've liked the video tonight, Lee, along with everybody else in the chat. Yeah, Bob, you know, she should go to lying class, acting class. And you know the podcast thing where she's reading out the story, like, first we got divorced, then he got murdered. I hate that question. I'm not really okay. I just, the way she reads, she's trying to read in this way that's you know, like a good storyteller. You remember when people used to read you a story and some people were great at it, like Robin Williams was in Mrs. Doubtfire? And other people, it was like, just put the book down. If you're not into it, you're not into it. But don't sit there and pretend. You know, well, she's terrible. Really, just like a bad attempt from a you know, junior high student. Anyway, whatever.
Here we go.
Okay. Hi.
She's gotta swab your hands.
Oh,
First, I'm gonna have to do your hands.
okay. Hi.
Marcus, my man. There you go. There's another male name beginning with M. You were there all the time, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you.
DSR stand for
Gunshot residue.
residue. Okay.
Residue? And then she shrugs like, well, whatever that is. I haven't washed my hands all day. I'm a complete pig. And I didn't even wash my hands before I eat. And I went to the toilet as well. And I touched the toilet seat. And then I came back and I ate my finger food. right there at the table.
Residue?
Residue.
Okay.
Jesus, I mean, I'm really starting to think that Isom never bought this at all, and just backed off and said, if I put any pressure on her whatsoever, it's hello, Mr. Lawyer, end of interview. So I'm not going to put any pressure on her. And don't forget, guys, there's a whole team of detectives watching this in the other room. Every time Isom goes out, they're giving him comments, supposedly. I think they should put a camera in those rooms. Imagine if we got to see what that conversation was like. A team of experienced detectives. Can you imagine in something like the Chris Watts interrogation and lie detector test, when the cops went out of the room and spoke to other cops who were like all in a group watching it, behavior experts? Wouldn't it be great to see how those, they're like pit stops, aren't they? Refueling for the Formula One or something.
This is a really hard job you guys have.
Can't be. All right, right hand. Okay, and are you right or left-handed?
I work with both.
What a really hard job you guys have. Not getting that. This woman's come in, put some blue gloves on, and is going to rub a Q-tip under your fingernails. That seems pretty easy.
Both.
Okay.
But right-handed.
Okay. Since noon today, have you washed your hands at all?
I wish I could tell you I had, but I haven't.
Okay.
I'm filthy.
Can't stand when it's filthy.
And a picture, correct?
Yeah.
Take a picture. I'm just gonna take a picture.
Of my hands?
No, of you. Just
You can
stand up, and then you can go to the bathroom.
Okay.
1000%, I prefer the Jodi Arias head tilt smile than what we ended up with Wendi, which was just this overacted, overproduced. I'm distraught, and I can't even think about how I look right now. And I caught some heat for this the other day, but I find that it's okay to comment on Wendi with anything. I don't hold back on anything with my comments on Wendi, because she's a psycho killer that needs locking up, and we all need to be made safe from her and her family of murdering, thieving, lying, plotting dentists. But I just find her body shape to be anything but attractive to me. It's just not proportionate with her head, with her shoulders, with her midriff, with her breasts, her arms. It's just all, I don't like it. And it's probably because it belongs to her. You could put the same body on a nice lady, genuine good person, and it might be all right.
Okay.
Ready?
Do you need to escort me?
I'm just gonna walk you around the corner. It's not really, it's just showing you where it is.
Yeah, we call it the innocent bathroom break. Welcome to the not a suspect bathroom. That's the special bathroom that we only give to non-suspects. You're not a suspect. Wink. I'm starting to think Isom was all over this from the beginning, I thought he was just a dumbass. For years, I've been thinking he's a dumbass, but maybe he's the most shrewd of them all, you know. Just nothing got past Isom. He was taking notes. He doesn't even need to take notes. That's all a prop. His pen and his misspellings and his bad math, it's all a prop to make him look like a fool. Wow, imagine if this is true. Of course, this is what he tells everybody, isn't it? It's like, yes, yes, I took my props. And the people in the office are like, Isom, we know you can't spell. And we know if you don't write things down, you forget everything. So don't tell us the story about the props again, Isom, okay? You got fooled again. What was it, the third time this week, Isom? What are you going to take a drive down Trescott, Isom? Amy Bowen's on side. Isom wouldn't ask an innocent person all these questions. I'm starting to think you're right, Amy. Riding Shotgun says they don't use crime tape for trees. You're correct. They probably have those little paper road blockers, you know, cardboard road blockers. But, you know, if I wanted to argue your point, which I don't, but if I did want to argue it, I'd say, well, if the tree knocked down a lamp post or fell on a car or, you know, a electrical telephone line, something like that, you might see crime tape. Or maybe it wouldn't say crime, but police warning tape, you know, whatever they had in the car. If they just need to put something up, it could happen. But like I said, I would only say that if I were trying to argue your point, which I'm not. 60 people in the stream, guys. Go and leave a like right now. All of you, including you. Lee says a tree did fall on the house, actually, and prolonged Wendy's sale of the house, which she got. What, the Trescott Drive house? Did Wendy sell that and get the money? Really? Is that what you're saying, Lee? Carla Martinez. Have we seen you before, Carla? If not, welcome to the show. But Carla says, comments about the family's secrets. Emotional seduction is a powerful tool some parents use to make their kids surrogate spouses. Huh. Yeah, I think we've seen that before, right? Do you remember that case? I think it was in New York State where the dad and the eldest daughter like worked together and tied a rope around the mother's neck. The dad was estranged and the daughter was on the dad's side. And the dad and the oldest daughter tied a rope around their mother's neck and threw her off the landing of the stairs in the house. So it looked like she hung herself, right? And there was a weird sort of seduction thing going on between that dad and daughter. I forget the name of the case. He had a ponytail and he was super manipulative. He was super manipulative with the cops. And there was this great video of when the cops caught up with him. He was on a ledge of a multi-story parking lot and threatening to jump. So all the cops were like surrounding him on top of the top of the parking lot, but they weren't getting too close. And then one cop just caught his moment and did this most amazing tackle takedown of the guy hard. And it was like, yeah, you're not jumping nowhere now, son. You're in cuffs and you've got a bad bruise on your leg now. Rabbit, we do love fancy fiction. I think I am actually falling in love with her, you know. She's just wonderful. An erudite. Who called her erudite the other day? She is. That is the best word I've found to describe her. I think it's the hair. Just looks like a really good study partner. Like, I want to get together with fancy fiction and just, you know, go through trigonometry, you know, really get a good solid grab on trigonometry. I think we could do it in like one night, one day.
What time do your kids get out of school?
So I think this school ends at like 5,
Okay,
but I usually pick them up early. Danny probably told him he was going to take them to Truesdale today, so they'll be expecting earlier. But at 5, it would be.
that's what time they close?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll stay open.
Okay. Okay.
They were supposed to be with me this week, so normal for them, other than this swim bit, would have been to spend the weekend with me and
Where did they sleep last night?
with Danny.
With Danny?
Yeah.
Okay. So Danny took them.
Go ahead. I got a call. So he has an alarm system in the house, and I must still be on the call list for people if there's a break-in. I got a call yesterday. I guess it'll be on the phone when it happened. I got a call from like the company with the alarm company that said like the alarm's been triggered, it's gone off.
Wow, I don't know how I got so far behind with the chat tonight, guys. Sorry. I just got to names beginning with M. That was like 20 minutes ago. Okay. Maybe I should skip. There are a lot. Do you want to hear them? Mervyn, Malcolm, Marcus, Morton, Melvin, Maximilian, Mitchell, Marcus, Maguire. Maguire? Who's called Maguire in real life? That's like a a 70s TV show detective or something, isn't it? Captain Maguire. Mark, there we go. That's an easy one. There are. I got 2. What's wrong with me? I think I'm going to have to skip to the end of the chat, guys.
There's another family in town that we were really close with. The woman's name is Lynn, and she's on the list too, so she got a call. I know this because I saw her yesterday evening. I went to a friend's art gallery thing, and she happened to be there. It's a small town. And she said, oh, I guess I got a call from Trescott. And I said, oh, I
Loads of new people in the chat tonight, guys. Make sure you all subscribe to the channel because this is part one of the full Wendi Adelson rewatch series. Okay, it's maybe not going to be 6 parts because this has been a pretty long video tonight. But granted, we haven't really been paying much attention. So the next video is going to be even better, way more in depth. Maybe we'll have 2 screens by then. Then we could just put the chat over there, have the screen here. It's going to be great. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Buymeacoffee.com, link in the description. Super chat, super thanks, super sticker. Memberships, options.
I said, but I just figured it was fine. So they called yesterday, and I don't remember what time it was. Maybe the morning, maybe the evening, but it happens sometimes every once in a while with weather, whenever the alarm gets triggered. So I didn't think anything of it, but I wonder if there was like an attempted break-in yesterday.
I don't know. I'll have to check into that. Do you know what the alarm company is?
It's on my phone, right? The message that they left. Sure. I probably deleted it, but then I didn't delete.
Christina says, I agree. There is 100% no way any woman would meet friends for lunch looking like that. Yeah, even a normal woman, right? It's pretty worn down, even for a standard trailer dweller, But Wendy's all about the image. All about the pristine. She's not going to lunch like that.
I deleted messages. So...
She's been packing her house. Those are the clothes you wear when you pack and clean a house. The hair up like that. Packing clothes, then just pop out for lunch with your 2 psychologist friends so they can give a valid testimony about how behaviorally you were acting completely normal that day, not like you were nervous or anticipating the murder of your ex.
If you look at deleted, you could find it. Okay. If not, I could probably figure it out, and Lynn could tell you. Okay. If you had to ask her.
That was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
But no calls today. Mm-hmm. Where did the children sleep the night before? Did they can stay with Danny right along?
Yeah, except week on, week off, but with Wednesday overnights. So Wednesday night they were with me.
When you say Wednesday overnight, Wednesday,
it means like if it's a mommy week, then they're with you all week. Except Wednesday night they'd go to Danny. Okay. If it's a Danny week, right? So they're with him all week, except Wednesday night they came to me.
All right, and then so Wednesday night.
That's the last time. I didn't tell you this, but I thought about it in the bathroom. I didn't have an interaction with him, but that's the last time I saw him was Wednesday. I picked up the kids and I was going to take them to Whole Foods. Okay. And I saw Danny working on his computer in the window of the Whole Foods, and I took him to BurgerFi instead. Oh. Because he and I were, divorced, and interactions with him were hard. And it was my one day with the kids, and I thought, well, if we go inside, it's going to be like all of us together, and I wanted time by myself with them. So I took them, but that's the last time I saw him. So I saw him sitting there Wednesday afternoon working.
He was inside Whole Foods?
He was inside Whole Foods with his computer, writing.
And the kids came out?
The kids didn't see him. Okay. We were just about to enter. I saw him. I thought, oh, my one day with the kids, and so I went and got burgers instead.
To the BurgerFi. Okay. All right. So then Thursday,
I got a call.
You got called about the alarm. Had you had any contact with the kids during that time?
On Thursday, I had them Wednesday night. I brought them to school on Thursday, and then no, not after I dropped them off. Okay. And there's a record at school of like when you log in. So I probably dropped them off a little before 9, but they could tell you what time.
All right. And then, so then he kept them last night, Thursday night, and then he would have driven them to school. What time does he normally drop them off at school?
It varies. Sometimes he has breakfast with him. I got the call from him. It was 9:04, I think. So he must have already just dropped them off and was probably driving from school to the gym. And that's why he was saying, going to this class. I'll touch base with you after.
Okay. All right. And then no contact after that.
We had some texting contact. That's when I was saying that my last contact wasn't very nice. I was saying, well, I wanted to pick them up at 3.
Do you live in a trailer, Amy? Me too. No harm to it. Wouldn't change it for the world.
He was saying, well, you are only allowed them after 4:30. And I was like, well, what about last week? I picked it up at 5. And he said I was just being nice. And I said, I guess nice was fun while it lasted.
Okay.
That's the last thing I said to him.
Okay. All right.
I know, Leah. We need. I wish the cop in this room was the Detective Sergeant Jim Smith from the Russell Williams interrogation. In fact, I would love some kind of alternate reality or virtual reality where you could just select an interrogation and then like click on a different cop, and put them in, so you could just sort of play guard with it and say, yeah, for the Wendi Adelson interrogation, let's try it with Detective Sergeant Jim Smith. And then we'll bring in Graham Coder from the Chris Watts interrogation, and we'll give her the lie detector from that other case. That'd be brilliant. We need to start speaking to some developers, guys, like people like me and people like Christina. We can code, but we don't know gaming code. How does that work?
His parents and his family, do you have contacts for them in your phone?
I have contacts for at least one of them.
Okay.
I think I've been recently deleting them just because they don't call me. But at least one of them, I can tell you his, I don't know whether it's his dad's name. His parents are actually recently divorced.
Okay. We'll get the phone back. You can supply those numbers.
Okay.
All right. And then we'll attempt to contact them.
Oh my God.
Find out where they're at least in Canada.
It's just the worst thing you could have.
No, I gotta ask you something. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you own a gun?
No.
Have you ever owned a gun? Have you ever fired a gun?
I think I went skeet shooting about 12 years ago.
Okay. Nothing since then? Does Danny own a gun?
Not that I know of, but maybe since I left. He didn't own a gun when I was with him.
Never had a gun around, or
No.
did he ever talk about buying a gun or anything?
He would talk about it, but he's a criminal law professor.
Right.
So sometimes he would talk about things just like
Okay.
to have a discussion about,
Okay.
like, should we have a gun in the home? Is it dangerous?
Right.
As far as I knew, there was no gun in the house.
Okay. You don't know anybody that he owed money to? You don't know anyone?
Just me.
I know, besides you, but that was under court order. I'm assuming.
And we have lawyers, and he very much respects, as do I, the legal system, you know,
Right.
so it was working its way through.
Okay.
But anyone he owes money to, I mean, he doesn't gamble.
Yeah,
he doesn't
it was
drink.
working its way through. I said to him, you need to pay me. He said he wouldn't. And then we were both filing motions against each other, but we were really looking forward to it working its way through, and he would have been happy to pay as long as it worked its way through. I mean, we just like putting things through the system that we respect. It's way more fun for us to do that than just agreeing on something. We like the system. We respect the legal process. So all it had to do is work its way through, and then no one would need to die.
Like, he doesn't have any vices. He doesn't
Right.
do anything weird. I can't imagine. I mean, I think he annoys people with his, like...
Do anything weird? What, like fly down to Colombia and the Philippines and the Virgin Islands for, underage prostitution, sexual tourism.
The lack of detail of it, I think like in the ivory tower here, not like I don't think he owed money to anyone. I can't imagine.
Okay. I mean, unless you have something I can't think of, I'm looking for some reason that someone would want to hurt him.
Not just hurt him.
Right.
I mean,
I know, but the intention.
I could see one of my friends wanting to shake him.
Right.
But my God.
Right.
No. I don't know who would do this. And I'm very scared because I don't understand why this would happen. He and I got along fine for the sake of the kids. You heard the message where he was like, well, maybe we'll just take a walk around school. And
Right.
I mean, I found him hard to be around, but so did a lot of people. They all knew he meant well. He was a decent, good human being. He wouldn't hurt anybody. He would never do this to anybody. I don't know who would want to hurt him like this. I really don't.
All right. I need to ask you, was your divorce, you said before it had nothing to do with infidelity, no extramarital affairs or anything like that.
Neither one of us.
It was just simply the fact that you all just didn't get along anymore.
Christina, well, I think that they want to convict Donna before arresting Wendi so that Wendi can still be, a witness in Donna's prosecution. If they arrest Wendi now, why would she comply with being a witness? She'd just plead the fifth, wouldn't she?
Or was it just the fact that he was belligerent to you?
He never hurt me physically, but he was emotionally abusive.
Okay.
And I didn't tell most people that. So all most people know is it just didn't work out, and it's just the kids are young, and this is just better this way. So other than my family who saw the way he treated me, most people were, well, I think his family was very surprised. He told everyone around the community that I was mentally ill because only a crazy person would leave him. And so there's a lot. But who would? Yes.
Hey, Wendi, are you saying that you're not mentally ill? Is that where we are at with this at the moment, Wendi? Is that your statement? Is that your self-statement?
So that's it. The circumstances, plain and simple, were it just wasn't a really healthy marriage, and I thought it'd be better for the boys if they didn't grow up thinking that's the way you treat women.
I thought it would be better for the boys if they didn't grow up thinking that's the way you treat women. Just look at that. I thought it would be better for the boys if they didn't grow up thinking that's how you treat women. That's what she just said. I mean, and she's not mentally ill. It really is incredible. It's like Amber Heard times 1,000,000.
But he didn't hit me, he didn't hit them. He didn't have a drug problem. He didn't gamble, he didn't cheat on me, I didn't cheat on him. There's no other. I keep thinking the only unknown I can think of is Amy's ex-husband. Is he still in the picture? Is he upset?
Right.
Danny, I defriended him from Facebook because I found it too upsetting to see intermittent pictures of the kids. But
I defriended him from Facebook because I found it too upsetting to see pictures of him and the kids. And I would drive down Trescott on occasion to help me cope with the divorce. Okay, you deleted him from Facebook as some sort of very, very immature little jab at him to you know, as a fuck you, as a snub, as a complete snub. But she reshapes it and says, I found it too upsetting to see pictures of him and the boys because I was so broken up of our marriage and I didn't want them to think that's how you treat women. Just for clarification, guys, I am all for treating women wonderfully. 100% support treating women very well, treating everybody very well, both ways. But the thing that I really, really can't stand the most, I think, is when women, or men, I suppose, but in my experience, maybe it's because I am a man, but in my experience, it's women like Wendi that will produce an argument like that where it makes it very difficult to point out that they're being mental. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they use the kind of post-feminism Me Too situation as this thing where you can't produce any argument, and if you do, you're classed as a, what do you call it? Do you know what I'm trying to say? We saw a lot of that in Amber Heard, which really didn't work, did it? My truth. If you start using the phrase "my truth," I'm probably going to turn off my brain.
He's very, very public on Facebook about like where he is, when he's traveling, where he's going. And so I wonder if he's got pictures up of him and Amy and if there's a jealous ex-husband in the.
Do you know where this ex-husband would be?
He'd be in New York too.
Is he also an attorney?
I don't even know his name.
Okay.
I just know they when Amy came down here, they went over a mutual friend of ours. It's a guy that
See, it's interesting because she doesn't have a hope really of framing the ex-husband of Amy. She knows that he's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 states north, and will have, an easily verifiable alibi and blah 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 blah. But she's just, look over here, look over there, look over, don't look here, look over there, look over there. Keep busy, little cop, and then you can speak with Mr. Lawyer when I'm in Miami.
works at the law school. This guy Jay and his wife Dory is a good friend of mine, and they have kids, my kid's age. And I said to her, I remember saying, so what's she like? Like she met her before I did, and she said, she's really nice and she's, very sweet, and she's recently divorced too, so she knows how awkward all of this is to meet the new person. I don't know, and I'm scared.
Yeah, Rabbit. I think that's what I was kind of trying to say. Those women, those who falsely accuse, probably more than even men, false accusations destroy real victims. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? False accusations destroy real victims and services or justice they need. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. There's a certain percentage of the population that have harnessed this style of argument, and it's the most annoying thing.
Okay. Have you had anything happen at your house?
No.
Nothing?
Uh-uh.
And the information for Best Buy for the service tech that was there, that's at your house?
I'd be happy. I mean, if someone wants to
Yeah,
come
we'll
back
get
with
that.
me.
We'll get that.
Veggie girl, the Best Buy guy got to the house. You know, he was supposed to arrive between 8 and 12. I think he got there pretty early, like 8:30. And he just like said, well, I can't fix the TV, so I can either take it back or you can just throw it out and buy a new one. And then she tried to stall him and said, oh, let me quickly call my brother and get his advice before you go, because she needed him there as an alibi, right? And she managed to get Charlie on the phone and talk to him for 45 minutes, or was it 18 minutes? I've heard different things on that. But, you know, that could only go on for so long. And then the Best Buy guy left. So then she had to do all sorts of stuff on the laptop and log into the work server that it was all, you know, time stamped, and there'd be a usage record on the computer and the server. And then she was on the phone constantly because she was like, I called this person and you can probably verify the time and the duration of the call and the location, the cell tower. So it was all, why did she have those calls? It was to verify her whereabouts and so on.
And that was basically from when he came out there to serve, well, I guess to replace the
He
TV.
came out to fix it and then told me that what was wrong with it wasn't fixable.
Right.
And so I called Charlie to find out, should I buy a new one or should I fix
Right.
this one? And he was like, just buy a new one. And
And once he left, do you remember what time the serviceman left?
probably around 10, till
10.
before 10. And then
Okay.
I left by 12.
But between that time, between 10 and 12, you were by yourself working on your papers and stuff.
Yeah.
Were you doing on papers or computer?
It was all on computer.
Okay.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, I sent some edits in to someone at the law library
Alright.
during that time.
Okay,
I called a few friends. I sent some texts. I mean, all of that'll be
on the phone.
on the phone.
Or you call from your house phone?
I don't have a house phone.
Okay, you use all your communications is over your cell phone?
Yeah.
Do you have more than one cell phone?
No.
All right, I'm gonna introduce you to a victim advocate. She's gonna be very helpful. And she's going to, once the phone comes back, she'll get the numbers for his folks. Hey, you're saying everybody's in Canada, is that correct, on his side of the family?
His family's in Canada.
Okay, Alberta,
No,
Quebec?
his mom.
Yeah, his family's in Canada. Okay, my family, Miami. Okay, can we get that straight right now? His family live north of the border in that weird place that's not America, and my family live in Miami. Okay.
And dad, his immediate family is in Toronto.
Okay,
His like aunts and uncles and cousins are all in Montreal. Everyone's English speaking.
By the way, that's her opinion, not mine, guys. I love Canada. You know, my dad grew up in Winnipeg.
Any family in this? No family in the States. They're all in Canada.
and that's where he's from originally?
He's from there. He came here for college and never left. So he's 41 and he's been here since he was 18.
Did he go to FSU for law school?
No,
Okay, where did he go to law school?
Harvard.
Harvard, okay. And then he got a position as a professor.
We moved up here for his job.
So you were in New York too?
No. I've never lived in New York.
Oh.
I was actually at University of Miami going to law school. We met, we got engaged, and then I was going to do my last year of law school up here. So in 2005, we moved here. He was a professor and I was a student for one more year. And then we moved back to Miami for a year, and then we moved here for a year. The reason why I say
He was a professor, I was a student. I just can't help but relate that back to her porn history.
his parents are going to say I did it is because after we got divorced, I wanted to move to South Florida, and I filed a petition to relocate in the court, and the court said no. So
Because of the kids.
because I mean, yeah. So you can always leave. You just can't leave with your kids. So, so we're in Tallahassee because of Danny's job.
Isn't it funny how she's telling this with such a kind of, oh, it was so funny. I said to the judge that I wanted to leave with the kids. And the judge, the judge said, "You can always leave, just not with your kids."
So
He taught at UM.
Yeah, but it was all just working through the system that we respect. So we just had to keep working it through. And yeah, we love respecting the system.
Before he came up here.
he didn't. He had that year at FSU, and then UM said they wanted to hire him. So I worked there for a year. He worked there for half a year. We commuted back and forth to FSU, and then UM didn't hire him, and so we moved back to FSU, and I've been here since.
We are getting ready to close it down for the night, guys. Battery is running low. We've been on for almost 3 solid hours now, guys. And I think closing it off before victim advocate Sarah comes in will give us a nice starting chunk for part 2. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you've left a like on the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. Link in the description. You can send us a super chat, super thanks, super sticker, and leave another like on the video. All great ways that you can support the channel, guys. And we really appreciate all your efforts.
Like the 07 school year.
All right. I'm gonna go get the victim advocate, all right, and introduce you to her. And as soon as we get your phone back, I'll probably want you to show me some of those text messages. I know it's gonna be on the record,
Okay.
but I may want to ask you that, and then we'll try to get everything expedited so you can be there when your kids get picked up from school.
Right, because the alternative would be like a police officer.
Yeah, we don't want to
That's
do that.
scary.
I want you to come pick them up.
Instead of a police officer, if it can't be me, I'd rather it be like a family friend or something.
Well, we could do that too.
Yeah, I'm
if you'd
just saying,
rather.
like, I
Yeah.
do not want, I think they'll get really scared.
No. All the officer's done is checked on your children and made
Okay.
sure they're at school. We just had to find out where they were and where you were. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. I'll be right
Okay,
back.
okay. I can put my IDs away and stuff?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Thanks so much, Clarissa H. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we will see you probably tomorrow for part 2.
Wendy, this is Sarah Latour.
Hi, Sarah.
Victim advocate.
How are you?
And that's where we will close it out tonight, guys. Just going to do a little bit of housekeeping here. Huh. So in 3 hours, our subscriber count has only gone up by 2. Or maybe some people didn't like the show and unsubscribed. That means everybody who's left in the chat, all 51 of you, right? We need everybody to go subscribe to the channel right now. We've got part 2 coming out tomorrow. What, are you going to want to miss that? You're committed now. You're part of us now. You're with us. So subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, notifications. Matt Teomina. Correct. University of Miami did not want a tandem husband and wife deal with Dan and Wendi. They only wanted Dan. Yeah, well, that can complicate things in a professional setting. Yeah, Christina, everything she says is BS. Literally every single thing. It is, isn't it? It was like Charlie on the stand the last few days was like, even the little stuff is complete lies. It's like these people are just have this total aversion to anything to do with the truth. It's insane. Thanks, Neverly. Sing it for the power. Great to see you, Neverly. Holding fort. And Matt, you've been great tonight. Really good comments from Matt. Chris Parks, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Get down the Gold Coast when you can. 554, you're still here? You better get making some content, man. And when are we doing our collab? We're going to be carving out some time soon. So yeah, your show or mine, or we'll do both. I'll come to you, you come to me. Thanks, Christina. In fact, I think we were really off our game tonight, guys. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's been a weird day. I've been bumping into things. Electrical things don't work. Driving has been a nightmare. Sometimes that happens, but we'll be better tomorrow and the next day even better. But we really appreciate your support. You're actually really fantastic, Christina. We love you. Great comments. Good night, Clarissa H. Rabbit, you know who you are. Justice for Dan, Ruth, Phil, Ben, and Lincoln. And Shelley. Don't forget Shelley. Running Bird. I heard people saying that, but I think they were just saying it. Oh, see you later, Riding Shotgun. And thank you so much for your very generous super sticker, super chat, super thanks. Yeah, Leah. Yeah, it's been a really busy chat tonight, guys. Great activity. Ryan B. Good to see you, man. Wow, how many times do these guys want to say good night? I'm gonna just skip on through. Am I on Reddit, Frank? My name's Frank. Yeah, sorry. Am I on Reddit? Leo. Yes, I'm on Leo. Leo, thanks so much for a super sticker. That's very kind of you, man. I am on Reddit, and I don't know what my name is, though. I don't think it's True Crime Metrix, but I put True Crime Metrix into Reddit the other day, and there's a whole thread talking about the show. You know what we need to do? We need to get Fancy Fiction to come over to Reddit, look for our thread, and then that's where she can put her proposal of marriage, which I will accept. Yeah. Yes. She's probably working on it right now. I want a hot air balloon ride and what else? Skywriter. How about that, eh? A skywriter that we look at from a hot air balloon. That's exactly what I deserve. Carla Martinez. Thanks for the presentation. Caught a lot of new points in her BS comments. Oh, Carla, you must come back for more, because we were just, I just feel really guilty. I feel like I've let everyone down because I just don't feel like I was on my game at all tonight. But thank you for saying that. And yeah, look forward to better days, Okay, guys, 3 hours, 4 minutes. We are signing off. Oh, and everybody come and join the, what do you call it? The Discord server, where all the core community fans are. It's a real love-in over there, guys. We're sharing stuff. We're talking about stuff. And it's fantastic. And it's free. It's just on Discord. The link is in the description for the video. Now, I didn't know what Discord was until recently, and everyone said, you should have the Discord where you can chat and do stuff. And we did it, and it's great. Thanks, Matt. All right. Good night, all. That's enough for today. Be kind to each other. Don't be an Adelson. Lots of love. Bye-bye.